InService EPC Electronic Part Catalog. In this example, we're going to focus on searches. We've got Search All, we've got Search Part, we've got the Search Center where we can do some advanced searches, and then we also have the ability to search and model. I'm going to use the first one, which is Search All, and this is going to use the search to find anything that I type in. So we're going to type in muffler, and it's going to look for a muffler in any of the models that are within the system, so the entire part catalog. You can see that it pulls up information in terms of service documents, and it also pulls up information in terms of parts information. So I'm going to select on this engine and attaching parts. It's going to pull up the assembly, and this assembly contains a number of different parts that have reference to muffler. So if we go ahead and scroll down, we can see it says support muffler or kit muffler, and so it's found that information. We can always go back to my search results, and we can see, let's say, the muffler support kit. This is going to be the same model, but in this case it's going to be the service documentation or the instruction. When we look at the instructions, you can see that they've been highlighted, and this is actually because the information was fully indexed when it was loaded into the electronic part catalog. We can always use things like a search for support in the information of that book or instruction set, the service document. You can see it's highlighted in a different color, and this is the difference between using a PDF search versus using the Enigma search. We're actually indexing all the information when we load in a service manual into the system. So let's take a look back once again at other ways in which we can search. I'm going to empty out the models or reset the system. I'm going to type in a part number. We're going to select Go, and it's going to highlight and show me the part number and the model and the description based off of that number that I typed in. You can also see that this part number is an assembly. You can also see that it has an E-note. I'm going to go ahead and select on that part description. It's going to open up the model, the 553 loader, open up the assembly, and it highlights that actual part within the assembly, making it easy for me to identify that actual part number that we looked at. Other ways in which we can search, let's say we've got in the search in model, I'm going to go ahead and type in the option for hose. We'll type that in, and we'll look up hose within the 553, and it shows up in multiple locations. You can see it shows up in the rental information, and it also shows up in that assembly. So I'm going to go into the assembly, and we're going to open that up, and it opens the assembly, and you can see that here it is, the hose that we just looked up. If we want to do some more advanced searches, we can always go to the Search Center. The Search Center appears, and there's two ways in which we can use this in terms of searching for parts catalog, and we can also use the options to search or filter for service information. We'll take a look at the parts catalog. You can always filter based off your division, your families, and your model, and then you can further filter the information by browsing all the parts that are related to this vehicle and look up that information. If we want, we can type in a part number. We'll put that in, and let's say it's a C3, and we put in an asterisk, and we can then do a search. So it's going to find that there are two parts that have the C3 and a wild card behind them. We can always say that we want to type in air, and then we'll do a search here, further filter, and so now that it's found a part number that has C3 and the wildcard after it, and then any description that has the word air in it. So here's the part that we're looking for, and this is the air cleaner. So we can go ahead and pull that up, and you can see that it will navigate, open up the assembly, and it's found that air cleaner in the information. So a nice way to use that system. Go back to the Search Center, and we can go to the service information. So it's only going to find documents that have service information, and we'll type in something in here, and we'll say muffler, and it's found the service document for the 553 loader based off of how I filtered, and we can always select on that and find the results based off of that search. So there are many ways in which you can find the information within the EPC using the various different searches. Alright, let's see, we've got the service information, and you can see that that muffler support is showing up. InService EPC Parts Catalog, and we've looked at different ways in which we can search. Search All, Search Parts, Search Center, and then Search and Model.